to our podcast, ACP Automation Adventures. This is going to be an awesome one where we get to learn a little bit about Georgia State University's Perimeter College Advisory Board members. And today we have Ms. Joyce Stevens, who's going to tell us a little bit about herself and her experiences as a board member. Joyce, can you take a moment and introduce yourself?
I'm Joyce Stevens, Joyce Carter Stevens, in fact, and I serve on the advisory board of Perimeter College at Georgia State. Have been on the board for a number of years, and I serve as the Strategic Partnership Committee Chair.
Wonderful. And what are some of the things that you do as the chair of the Strategic Partnership Committee?
We work with Victoria and Nancy and help them find other people who might want to join the board and be supporters of Perimeter College. And then we also help them maybe isolate and find corporate entities that would be supportive of Perimeter College monetarily. And we've even made fundraising calls or made introductions, that kind of thing. So it's just, whatever we can do to help. The majority of us on the board have some experience with having either scholarships at the school or helping young people find scholarships.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so why did you choose to become and serve as a board member on GSU-PC's board?
Well, I sort of inherited it from my husband. He was on the
Oh,
board for a number of years, and the board kept him when he became ill, and I took him to the meetings. And after he passed away, then they asked me to join the board, and I've enjoyed my participation and my opportunity to serve and try to help young people find a way to go to college, because I did not go to college. I went to business school only for 6 months. I was accepted at college, but my mom became ill and things just didn't work so that I could afford to go to college. So I went to business school and got a job. And that put me in a position to move through the different areas of work experience that I've had the opportunity to do, and even started a couple of businesses with my husband. And so I just feel very, very blessed to have had the background and the experience that I've experienced. And I would like to help other young people in some manner.
what would you say sort of back in those early teenage years and young adult years, like what's some things that you now know that you were never taught but you wish you knew, back when you were in your youth age or as a young adult?
Well, I was blessed to have a number of mentors, and I learned to trust my mentors and my friends and respect the older generation pretty quickly. And I also learned that you can learn from them if you drink it in. If you're there and you're hungry and you're thirsty, they will give you a lot of guidance. And that's where a tremendous amount of my experience and guidance came from.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, professionally, what are some things that, you were never taught, but, you were really surprised once you started these businesses and you were, in your career? What were some of the things that you said, oh man, I wish I knew these things, as a young adult?
Well, if you'd known them as a young adult, you wouldn't have had to go through the learning process, which I had to go. And I'll tell you a couple of things that I've done that are sort of historic. I'm the first woman ever on a general election ballot in the state of Georgia.
Oh, wow.
That was 1984. I ran for Public Service Commission, which is statewide. Didn't win, but and I didn't know at the time I was running that I was the first woman on a general election ballot.
Absolutely.
There had been women on primary ballots, but not general election ballots. So that's just a quick example of the opportunities I've had. I ran again for office in 2002, did not win. But those two races, the experience of running for office, taught me so much about life. And, you'll hear people say, oh, well, that was a learning experience. Well, it really was a learning experience, because then after running for office twice and not winning, I could go on to other things, and my confidence level was affected by losing, of course. So I really had to work hard to get my confidence level back to a point where I felt comfortable attempting other things and could accomplish those in the long run.
That's wonderful. And I like that you use the word confidence. We don't really talk a lot about that with our youth, right? We have these traditional high school learners who are also trying to learn themselves, and they're coming out trying to figure out, well, what's my next step? Is it college? Is it entrepreneurship? What am I doing with my life? And so having those professional experiences that you're speaking about, it does build that confidence. And so my last question to you is, confidence is a trait, right? That I believe that is probably one of the biggest things that's not really spoken about. But I believe employers really do look for confident, young and hungry employees. I would like to know from your perspective, what do you think are the most important skills and traits that current employers now are looking for in youth when they're applying for a position?
Well, I would like to think they're still looking for a youth that would have honest, be honest with them, and then have some amount of loyalty. It really concerns me that so often people just change jobs overnight, and I am from the old school now, so that is very frustrating. And in my experience, John and I had the small businesses, and we were able to find young people that really did. They were honest with us, and they also were loyal to us in working with us. And I'm proud to say that, I probably have 10 or 15 young people that are in the field that we worked together in. They stayed in that field. And to me, that's impressive.
That is so important. And I'm so glad you chose to share that today. And all my young listeners right now, this is something that you really need to lock in on. If you have a goal and you also, need to get the bills paid and you need to survive, it's really important to incorporate that in a long-term plan. Because when you're going out and you're, applying for these positions, as Joyce just mentioned, they're not looking to just, support you momentarily. They want you to grow with the company. So that's great. And so, all the youth listening, definitely tie into your plan, a timeline, be loyal to whatever job, whatever position that you're accepted with. So Joyce, that is great. I had a wonderful time with you today, and I'm looking forward. I know we're going to come back and interview you guys again. I really appreciate you. Any last comments before we say our goodbyes?
Well, I would just like to say that this has been a wonderful experience for me too. And I hope if my comments could touch some young person and make them have at least an interest in learning more, I'll be glad to help in any way I can.
And you guys heard it first from Joyce Stevens. She is here to help the youth, and I like it. I think that your comments are definitely going to move and motivate our listeners, and maybe even some parents as well. So thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much.